of knowledge sharing and dissemination and further refinement of these tools, I think that we can draw linkages between your agents of behavioral change, the work that you've done there, and this tool. And I think that we can really, if we come together, like if it works well, under the banner of the compact, I think we can put out some really widespread guidance to lots of organizations, and I think they'd be very interested in it. I also really wanted, because this toolkit that I showed you, it hasn't been published yet. It's about to be published. So I was talking to Charlotte and Rima and Marcel about kind of getting some IFRC kind of an opportunity to do a review of these tools before they were published. So there are a lot of things we've been discussing, but yeah, I agree with you. The last thing I'll say is that I really appreciated your presentation, because you know what, when we started talking about this initiative on humanitarian action here in our organization, people said, "Hey, we do international education. What's this humanitarian stuff that you guys are talking about?" And so I really appreciated your presentation, because it gave me some new ways of thinking and about, like, you know, ROTA is a part of Education Above All Foundation, and so we're really international education focused. And so your presentation and the work that you're doing there at IFRC is really giving me some ways of thinking about how humanitarianism and the values of humanitarianism fit with education and emergencies. And I really like it at some point if you and I maybe have offline a side conversation just about that linkage, that nexus, as you said.
Yeah, thank you so much. That was, yeah, a very impressive comment, and for sure, the people you are talking about are very familiar, and I thought, you know, that it must be known in our department, in the education team in Geneva as well. I'm just thinking, not speaking too long, I think also, yeah, this is a fantastic program, no doubt, you know, there's no discussion, and I think we should, in the sense of making it happen, we should definitely liaise and team up and see what we can do together and how we can network together. I'm just thinking, so you will not be, SK, you will not be around the next days in Geneva, so you will not be joining for sure there will be also some many international participants in the conferences. So is it, how can we, how to say, meet, or probably better in the new year? I don't know. You're not joining the Red Cross Red Crescent conference right now.
No, I won't be attending. I won't be there. But I tell you, let's try to. I'll be around in Doha for the next couple of weeks, and then I'm going on leave. So if we can organize a phone call maybe in the next couple of weeks, that'd be great. Otherwise, which I would appreciate. I'm really anxious to speak with you more about these things. Or otherwise, it would be in the new year, like toward the end of January. Before
I think we could have a call the week between the 16th and the 20th of December. So I will be back in Vienna, because I'm based in Austria, in Vienna. So I will be back to Vienna on the 13th. So we could have a call, or we, how to say, look to find schedule it end of January. So I think because in the meantime I would for sure follow up with Marcel and Rima. Charlotte is in maternity leave till end of January, so maybe, you know, not to double things what already have been done or people know. I think I would use the time to talk to my colleagues and share that we had because Rima was forwarding me the invitation for this webinar as well, so she's aware of this. I will talk to her, and maybe ask her we arrange a meeting, or let's touch base in the week before Christmas to schedule a meeting in January. I think it would be the best. And because not to too much the time before Christmas, because it's already full the time. So let's do it in a relaxed way in end of January, if you agree.
Sounds good. Let's plan it over email. I'll connect with you over email.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah. Sure.
So, all right. Thank you, Mr. Carl, and thank you, Esther, for that brief discussion. I think it's very much essential to actually complement and then as well build synergy in what we do differently in terms of education. That way we are sure to harmonize our efforts, and then since our target groups are all the same, young people, then I believe this would really pay dividends in what we do or what we ought to achieve in the future. So we have one question for you, Mr. Carl, from Samu, and then he's asking if does IFRC have other tools apart from YABC that targets young people?
If YABC, can you repeat the question? I did not get it. What was the question?
The question is, does IFRC have other tools apart from YABC that targets young people?
For sure, there is the Project Humanity we have from the Swiss government. So this is the Project Humanity, is a curriculum for young people in formal education more. So this is what we also promoting. It's not so much. It's not how to say intrinsic, but it's about the IFRC. It's about the humanitarian principle, but it was dedicated from the Swiss government and the Pedagogical University of Zug to the Federation in 2015, in the 50th anniversary of the fundamental principles. But from this program, we developed a Master of Advanced Studies on an education based on humanitarian principles and values. So this is also a very important task we did to bring the Red Cross Red Crescent program, the Project Humanity, on an academic level. So this was a very interesting step to have make it mainstream through academic institutions. This is also something very interesting. And honestly, I don't see so much the Federation in developing programs, as many national societies have excellent programs. And I see us more as Chris said on his role, the convener, to support national societies to share their programs. So we have these programs from the Norwegian Red Cross street mediation program, and there are great programs out in diverse parts of the world and national societies. We want to put in front of the curtain and present it to people who are interested. For sure, they are related to cultural context, but there are many programs out, and we have a platform also, and the new app we are developing, the Humanitarian Education web app, will give the opportunity to look and search for programs which are out for young people there.
Thank you, Mr. Carl. Any other question from the participants? Any question? All right. So if there is no question, then I have a question for you, Mr. Carl, and then as well, Ms. Blieska. Basically, looking at the role of UNMGCY, where in the compact, most especially in the compact, where we facilitate youth participation, meaningful youth participation in humanitarian action. We believe education is one of those approaches that we could, as well as UNMGCY, use to be able to engage more meaningfully young people around the world to be engaged in changing behaviors, and as well in terms of providing input to policy briefs that we regularly produce to the United Nations. So what prospect do you see between the IFRC and the IFRC Humanitarian Education Initiative and UNMGCY to actually collaborate in terms of reinforcing this particular engagement?
You know, from my point of view, I think the networking and the collaboration should be how to say, checked where it makes sense, and we should sit and discuss how we can do it. For me, it is important on the first step to discuss with Marcel and my colleagues, so what is already happening and what we can do together in the future as well. So this is, I think this is also, I have to, if you have any, how to say, suggestions how we can move forward and collaborating, for sure I would love to do it. On a concrete point, we can also use one of our next humanitarian education webinar to present this initiative, to present this working group, to present also other programs like the mission programs or other programs also during our humanitarian education webinars. So this is what I concretely can offer, and I also would, how to say, connect it with so to introduce these programs in these initiatives to our national societies, and vice versa, to introduce national society programs to this initiative. But then the first step, I would like to discuss with my colleagues in Geneva, and then I get back to you, Boubacar, and we can discuss what it makes sense to liaise and to collaborate. But for sure, I'm personally open for such a discussion to put our, how to say, heads and strengths together to move the humanitarian aid and activities of young people in it forward, for sure.
Great. Thank you, Mr. Carl. And then there comes a question from Samuel again, and then it reads, thank you, Carl, for answering my question. Would you or your office recommend WIDE-DAT or WIDE-DAP? I think these are specific acronym that is specific more on climate change. What about the Red Cross and Red Crescent Movement online learning platform? Would young people be able to participate?
Yes, for sure. You know, the young people can, for sure, sign up on the Red Cross and Learning platform. For sure, they can do it. We have a special, the Humanitarian Education Learning portal. This is a part of the platform where we share these educational youth initiatives. And for sure, also it will be possible through the new web application, which also links to the Red Cross Request platform. But for sure, you can register, young people can register and join the Red Cross Request and Learning platform. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Thank you. Shamu, does that answer your question? You can still unmute yourself, then speak with Carl. Okay, thank you. Yeah. So, any other question from the participants? I don't think there is any more questions, rather. So, that indicates, I think we've already exhausted the 1 hour mark of our webinar. So I'll really want to say a very big thanks to you, Mr. Carl, and to Eska for your wonderful presentations. And then also to say thank you from the entire UNMGCY team who have supported the preparation of this webinar. We really cannot do this without you, and then we want to appreciate your efforts and your time as well. So we look forward to pushing this agenda forward, and then we'll definitely be in touch with both of you to see how best we could collaborate and then reinforce what we are doing around the involvement of young people in humanitarian action, which is of course at the core of what UNMGCY does. So, and then to the audience, to the participants, we want to say thank you very much for joining the webinar. And then we hope to connect with you pretty much very soon. Now, next line of webinar, of course, the details will be sent out as soon as we are done settling the concept internally. So thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining, and then have a pleasant day. Goodbye.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you all. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you also from my end. Thanks so much for inviting me, and thanks for joining and for the interesting exchange. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Mr. Kao. Thank you, Tarada, for taking the notes. Thank you, Aziz, for joining.